Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to another Let's Go talk show with Tracy, and I'm back in Buffalo. I don't have we recorded after we've been back?
No, it's our
Oh,
first.
I'm back in Buffalo, but you'll still get the same wonderful energy from us if you stop and you pause and you feel it. You'll feel it. And I just want to quickly say, if you like what we talk about, if you like the stuff, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified, because we never really know when we're going to actually record and post these things. So you'll always get notified when we post. So in saying that, pause, that will be today's topic of conversation. And we may go all over the place, but we're going to try and contain ourselves. So we'll see what happens. So today, what we've noticed is we everything that I've been hearing, like people texting, calling, whatever, and then just life in general. And I do the same thing sometimes. Like we're missing that whole aspect of life because we're trying to figure things out. We're trying to, what does this mean? This happened. What does this mean for me? And I get a ton of those texts, like, what does this mean? And I've just gotten to the point where I'm saying, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Just move forward from here because we're so busy moving, going. You're not really stopping and saying, is this the direction I want to go? Or is this right for me now? I think so many of us, and I will include myself in this, a lot of times I start doing something, I'm like, oh my God, it's such a chore. It's so much work. And I'm like, ugh, and I never want to put that kind of energy into it. So I'll stop and I'll come back the next day. And even though sometimes the next day or even hours later, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this. And I'm all excited. And I start working on it. I'm like, oh, this just doesn't feel good. And sometimes it takes a while. But then I notice, like, okay, this really shouldn't be happening. Or if you have, because a few people have said this to me lately, if you've been doing things and a lot of people were like, oh my God, he's typed up this whole big thing that I was going to send out or I was going to post, and it was fabulous. It was wonderful. And then all of a sudden it was gone. Anytime that's happened to me, and I'm going to say anytime within the last 5 years, because before that I'd be crazy. But in the last 5 years, I'm like, huh, okay, something wasn't right on that. And I just start again. And sure enough, that second time I'm doing something, it's like, oh my God, this is freaking phenomenal. This is awesome. So it's really time to stop and pause and stop, going and feel whatever you're trying to achieve. Is that really what you still want? Is that really what your heart, your soul, whatever it is actually trying to guide you to? Or can you just stop and pause and say, wait a minute, do I really want this? And that's really fearful, to recognize something that you've been going after for years, you might not want to do anymore. Because you're like, oh my God, what's happening? What am I doing? Where do I go? What do I do? From that. But this really, in this energy, in this time of now, it's really time to stop and feel what feels right. Take that pause and move forward from that. And from there, I'm going to throw it over to you, Trace.
So, yeah, what I was getting is we are being given so many opportunities. And sometimes, well, I'm going to say I'm really focused in on this lately of how many opportunities myself and everyone's been getting for what I call them pattern interruptions, but that's to do something different, to think different, to break a looping cycle, to let go of that belief system, to let go of that behavior. And I think that for the most part, they do present themselves as a simple opportunity. It's if we are not stopping, pausing, feeling, and we're on autopilot as humans in these systems. Well, that's how we do it. And it's interesting how much we don't think of what we're doing throughout the day, what your belief system is about it, how you really feel. So I love this ages pause, and catch these subtle opportunities, because what I've noticed with myself and everyone around, the opportunities, let's just say, get more extreme and loud, which then be construed as challenges and obstacles. But I think it's just all opportunity to reflect. And I really, it's, we're moving out of this old energy. Let's simplify it.
Mhm.
We are moving out of this old energy. It is changing. The systems are breaking down. The energies are completely different. So if we keep doing what we always do, saying what we always say, believe what we always say, it's a misfire of sorts. So, and it's cool. It's exciting. Um, so yeah, the pause, and I laugh now, and I'm with Renaé. Even 3 months ago, I still had a lot of anger, frustration. Not that I don't now sometimes, but I can really move into oh, isn't that interesting? Oh my gosh, did that really just happen? Like some really, technology glitches, or there's so many things, the body's behavior. Like, what is that pain? Like, wow, that felt like an electric shock running through my system. Like, woo, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Instead of, oh my God, I'm gonna both.
What was that? What is it? I gotta
Yeah,
understand it.
yes. And to be okay with it on some level, of, all right, what the heck was that? You said it, just pause and feel. Bring it here. What was that? What should I do? What does it mean? No, no, it's just a pattern interruption. That's all it is. And if really, like, that's, I don't know, the phrase I've been using for myself is, ooh, all right, pattern interruption, cool. Opportunity to, and you don't even, what's changing, why it happened, let it go. Like, go beyond all the questions and answers and just be like, all right, let's go.
Yes,
It's got to be something cool. Let's go.
exactly. I love that whole thing of pattern interruption because really that's exactly what's happening and how perfect because the energy we are in exactly what you said. It's not to be understood. This is the time, the energy, the field that we're in, when you're talking about that misfire, you're going to continue to misfire if you're looking to understand something or try and figure it out. And it's not that you're abandoning your growth or whatever. It's you're stepping into it. You're moving into that whole aspect of growth by stopping and feeling what is it I'm feeling right now and honoring it. If you're feeling anger, honor it. Okay. I can't remember. Yeah, yesterday I was feeling something and I was like, oh, hello. All right, thanks. I feel you. And then even now, I don't even know what it was because then it was like whatever that was, I was feeling it was something I didn't like. I remember that. But then I said, oh, well, thanks. Like I recognize you. It was gone. It was gone that fast. And even now, I can't even remember what it was. So it's really interesting sometimes when you just recognize things because, and exactly what we were talking about off screen, what's happening now is all of what I'm going to refer to as all the old stuff, the little aches, the little pains, the little stuff, all of that stuff's coming forward now to I had to write it down because I know I was to get the pattern interruption. We have to interrupt this pattern to then, and the visual I'm getting is exactly what you were doing with the hands. You're okay. Let's say, pain's coming forward and it's coming in like this, right? It's going to connect in. But the minute you're like, oh, hello, thank you, or whatever it is, you're drawn to do, it immediately goes like this. It interrupts the pattern. And this, what's interesting to me is this one goes down and what I see it going into the earth and just becoming this new growth. Not only for us, but for the earth. I'm getting full body chill, but for the earth. There's new energy field going in and growing and expanding up into like new things. And they're showing like, wow, they're showing not only these like flowers growing, but they're showing this huge, huge sunflower, which then, as I'm following that, it turns into the sun, which is really cool. I don't know if they're showing you stuff because usually we're getting, certain things. But like, how great is that? Because it's changing the whole energy of anything and the way we see things as well. Does that make sense? What were you getting?
Well, I love when I say something and then you give me the visual to make it so much more real. But when you said going into the earth, this is all of the things that start to be a little magical. Um, my husband is up in Georgia and he's sending me literally all these pictures. I love mushrooms. Here's just one of them. He's like, there's thousands of mushrooms. I've never seen this before. And then, so this is my husband, and then my just because they're beautiful. Then my GM up there is sending me pictures of mushrooms. Like, do you see that
Yeah.
orange? I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. It looks
And
almost
to me,
gold.
this is that example of that energy going into earth, and to have two men, not that that matters, but I'm just saying the men in my life wouldn't even notice a mushroom, much less send me super artsy, really cool photos of multiple mushrooms. I'm like, what is going on? Oh my God, it's the pattern interruptions. This is so cool.
Yes.
But you see how the earth is responding with all of these amazing. I love them. The mushroom is so freaking brilliant in my head. So do you see how it's so cool?
Very
Anyway,
cool.
you
And
can
well,
tell I
and
got
not only that,
really
I love how they showed the sunflower going up and then going into the sun, and then the sun radiating down, and then seeing, like, picture like the sun radiating down, and then I could see, like, what I would perceive as the sky, right? But the sky had all of this code, I'll say, code and all these little symbols, all the stuff, and they were rearranging, and some of them were connecting in to create something new. And then I saw a couple of things like open up, like almost like a and it's not, because they're saying it's not, but it was almost like a portal, like something opened up and then it sucked in what looked like the old stuff, and then it closed up. And then what they were showing was just this whole different sky, I guess. Like it's lighter, it's freer, it's clearer. So they're saying do not underestimate, number one, the energy we're all holding. Recognize yourself as this beautiful sacred being who is carrying an energy with you. And how valuable is that energy to you? Because it should be incredibly valuable. And if you're listening to other people telling you what to do, or if you're not even listening to yourself and you're go, 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 and I gotta go, I gotta go, I always gotta be moving, I always gotta, be doing, you're running from something. You're running from something in yourself. And they're saying you're not even honoring your own value from an energy perspective. They're saying your energy is so valuable that who are you giving it to? Some people just can't afford it. So they're saying, but look at it from that perspective. If you're giving it to somebody that's making you angry, or even yourself, if you're focusing in on older stuff, they're saying, does that deserve? Does that deserve your energy field? Does that, picture it like, would you be paying big money to go back there? Probably not, because it's making you pissed off, right? So they're saying, so honor it and stay in this now and move forward. Go beyond what you have been. And they're saying, and just saying that, just saying or thinking that, okay, I'm going to go beyond this. Like if you recognize something, you're like, oh, okay, I see you, but I'm going to move beyond it. Or we meaning all parts of you, we're going to move beyond this. They're saying, there it goes down into the, you get the misfire, which then you're connecting, and they're saying that misfire, don't perceive that misfire as something as a, well, shit, now we're just going off into the abyss. Oh, no. You are going off into something you cannot understand because you've never been. We're going beyond everything we've been. And that's where that they're saying, bliss, that's where bliss is, that's where joy is, that's where everything that you've tried to create and be, that's where it is. So go beyond. What do you got?
So the beyond thing, I've been playing with that. And I think we've mentioned it a few times, but it is the most magical place. I'm super into the the magic energy. And if whatever's going on, a situation, a pain, a trigger, oh my gosh, why did I respond that way again? I really have been taking the time every morning, but throughout the day to just be like, okay, this is what I'm experiencing. And normally, I'm going to lay down quiet and then, okay, let's go beyond that. And it's such a cool practice of because your mind really stops looking for any information, and it's this like shift from having information to intelligence. And to me, I'm just using words. Information is loaded with all this data. Intelligence is just a frequency. There's no words. It's just pure intelligence. And if you even just start playing with it, and I always say I am probably the worst of listening to people and their techniques and tools. And I'm like, no, I got to refine that. So do what I always create my own everything, for the most part, like how I do it, how I see it, what I call it. But that beyond space is magical. And it is pure intelligence, which is not, it's for me, I don't see any like data. There's no words. It's just, again, I can't tell you a word because I wouldn't even want to put an explanation on it.
Right.
But that beyond space has really been, and we get our own messages, and that's been like, no, 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 what are you doing? Go beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it, like you said, because it's just a state of being and whatever. Because even though they're saying everybody is a beautiful energy field, a beautiful frequency, a beautiful vibration, and so much more that the human being and the human words cannot explain. They're saying, but yet everybody is completely different. So when you're listening or feeling, and if you go to try and explain that to somebody, they're either going to feel the energy that you're doing because you're number one, you're not going to be able to explain it, right? It just is. So they're saying, so when you go to explain it to somebody, you'll have to bring forth the feel this, feel it, you'll understand. And if that person doesn't feel it, that's okay. You're opening them up into a field. You're inviting them into a field, not necessarily your field. You're inviting them into their own field, their own existence. The minute you say, well, just feel this. I don't really know how to describe this. There's no words for this. So just feel this. Just feel it. See what you feel. And if they have to close their eyes so that they're not taking in everything, from wherever you're standing, have them close their eyes and feel it. Or even say to them, when you get home or when you're in bed tonight, whatever, stop and feel it because it'll still be with you. Because the truth is, what they're saying, what we're doing is we're allowing them to open up their field into their whole energy and beyond. And they're saying it's just such a powerful place to be. And the more that we're all doing that, the more we're going to achieve what we've been looking for in this human perspective, in this human life. So, and again, everybody's going to be different. So if somebody says, you wouldn't believe this, you wouldn't experience, and if they can put some sort of words to it, and you're like, yeah, I don't really get that. Well, of course not, because it's specific to that person. So don't judge yourself and don't look for that part of, well, they're doing this. Well, they said that, it was so wonderful they couldn't explain it. I can explain mine. Okay, well, maybe you're just a little better at certain words, but trust me when I say, and they're saying you're going to be going deeper and deeper and deeper. You may be able to explain some of this to certain people that need a opening, and they're showing a grid. They're saying that need an opening to their own grid work. Because once they're saying the words are going to open us to the grid work. The grid work, then once you start to go into that grid, the grid work, they're saying, will start to readjust and reconfigure our entire system. That's where you're going to get aches, you're going to get pains, you're going to get different stuff. What are you doing with that? Are you paying attention? Or you go, okay, we're going to go beyond this. Thanks so much. We're going beyond, because it's all the old frequencies, the old vibrations. It's all in the grid. So we're saying the grid will actually shift and change and bring you deeper in. The minute you've gone beyond that grid, they're saying there's a few grids, okay, but the minute you've gone beyond that grid, you're not going to be able to explain things after that, because you're in the beyond. And you might feel certain things, but they're saying, what are you doing with it? And you'll notice how the minute you recognize it, and actually not only recognizing it, they're just showing this like big eyes, so it must be an awareness. The minute you have that awareness to it, and you're honoring it for what it is, okay, this is a pain, but I'm going beyond it. They're saying you'll notice it immediately shifts like this. And that's an indicator to you that you're beyond what you have been, and you're going to keep going beyond. They're saying there's not really an ending point to that. Just continue to go beyond, because it's going to bring you places that you could never even imagine in the human field. So hopefully that makes sense. What'd you get, Trace? Because I know when I'm talking, you're always getting things too.
Well, it's just, yeah, you said it perfectly, because it's a process and everyone's going to do it a little differently. And then you get to a point where, and you want more. Like, it's hard to explain. You can't put it into words, but you want to go there more often. So it's not even an efforting.
Yeah.
And I love this theory of once there's enough space in between old energies, you can't even tap back into them. Like
Mm.
feelings, or you'll notice that a pain's different, that it's presenting different in your body. And those are all the little nuances, opportunities. Um, and I'll even remind myself, like, oh, that does not feel how it used to feel. Um, and that's where I think you get more, right? When you have the awareness, all those, again, the little nuances, the little opportunities, it starts to get so much less challenging and so much more exciting and exhilarating. And I mean, it's a weird thing when you don't have reference points. You can't find someone on YouTube talking about your exact thing. You're in the gold. Then you're in the gold, right? Which people want the validation. And I'm saying like it's a process. And of course, I don't know anyone who's there all the time, because I'll
Right.
still be in the middle of my day and boy am I shit kicking. You're like, I'm like, oh, look at you. Look how you played out today. And I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, well,
You're right. That's so true. And I do love that whole point of just knowing that everybody's going to be different, and you're not going to find people that are like, so stop looking. They're saying stop looking for validation. And they're saying Tracy brought up an amazing point. If you're out there looking to see who else is doing something, you're tied back into old frequencies, old energies. Like you're not in the beyond. Go beyond, because it will be a knowing in you. Okay, this is right. And quite honestly, they're saying you'll notice you don't even really have to talk about it with people, because whatever. Some people may not understand, matter. She's crazy, or whatever it is, or he's crazy. But they're saying you'll notice you're just going about your day, and your whole day is completely different, and it's in a natural flow, and things are coming to you. You're way ahead of the game. Somebody that can say to you later on, hey, could you do this is, oh yeah, I already did it, because you're in that natural flow. You're in the beyond, and in that beyond you just know what has to be done, you know how to do it, and it's going to go really really fast. And I don't know about, well, I know you, Tracy, are the same with me. Like, I am telling you, these days go by so, it is incredible. And it is amazing to me when I say that to somebody, like, oh my God, can you believe we're in August? I can't believe it. Where did this year go? And they're like, oh my God, that's all we are is in August. I'm like, what? And then the days themselves, I'm like, where is the time going? Like, it's crazy. And I believe, and if I'm wrong, they'll tell me as I'm saying it, but I believe it's because we're in that beyond them. I'm continually, like you, Tracy, I'm continually saying, okay, well, let's go beyond this. Okay, or let's move beyond that human thought. Let me see if we can go. Let's go a little further. And sometimes it'll be this like weird feeling of like I can't even, if I'm talking to my husband or there's somebody. I think I did this when we were at dinner with you and Mike. Trace, I didn't even know what you guys were talking about. Something about windows on a thing, and I started to say something, and it was completely gone. Like I did not know what the I was saying. And I was like, okay, I sound like an idiot. But it was so bizarre. So they're saying, so as you're doing that, notice and recognize you've gone beyond, and you're trying to, which brings us back to what you had said a couple shows ago, that okay, you're beyond, but now you're trying to come back into this field because I'm more comfortable here. Remember when you were saying that, like, okay, I want to play down here, and then you didn't need to play down there. Your and Mike's energy were holding up. We were all up, and then I tried to dip down for what reason I don't know. Didn't realize it. So whatever sentence I said probably did not make sense. But they're saying when you do that, recognize it and get your ass back into that beyond point, because you're just going to forget things. And so whenever you're doing it, and I remember this was months and months ago. One of my friends, Diana, was saying, oh my God, it's so difficult to talk and so different to say things. And that's why, because she was going beyond everything she had been. And she was trying to have a conversation with her work people. And it was two totally different energies. And she did end up leaving, after a while. And that was why she needed to get out of there. Did I just ramble? Does that make sense?
I'm laughing because just this morning I said to my sister, I don't even know why I bother talking anymore. Because
Just shoot the energy there. You get
Yeah,
it.
like they're not computing what I'm saying anyway, so I
Right.
might as well just not waste the vocal.
Right.
And you have to laugh. You have, like, you really,
Yes.
it gets to the point, and I will emphasize that. You could start to get super frustrated. And Renee, we talk about examples all the time of, again, the communication breaking down, the systems breaking down, technology glitching, but you really gotta laugh. And, again, sometimes you'll get a little frustrated, but gosh, laughter is just the best because really at the end of the day, most situations you can make it comical. Like, oh, all right, that totally didn't work out for me.
Right. What was I not listening to? What was I not paying attention to?
Yeah.
And yeah, just honor that, honor your feelings, honor what's going on. And exactly what you said, laughter, like just infuse fun into every component because it's funny when you're trucking down a path and you're thinking like this is it, and all of a sudden like it's not working out. That's when you've got to realize, okay, clearly I'm missing something. So let me step back and maybe I go down this path, or maybe I go down just this only to this far, but honor what way it is and then where it barks off. And you'll know. And just when you're doing that and you're struggling, say, okay, I'm just stop, breathe, and just say, okay, we're going beyond. We meaning all parts of you, or I am going beyond and see what unfolds. Cause I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised. And I love like even when you were saying like you're just in bed, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go beyond that. Just look at your day and say, okay, we're gonna go beyond that. Let's go beyond it now. And what I love about that, Tracy, is because then when people are sleeping, their whole system, because that's what they went to bed with, their whole system begins to shift and change. And they're waking up with a whole new energetic field around them. And they're saying even the eyes, if you wake up and your eyes are a little blurry, then you've been doing that beyond thing. And even just being in the conversation right now, hearing this is actually putting that whole field, opening that field for you, they're saying. So if your eyes are a little blurry, it's because you're moving into the beyond, because we can't see things the same. It's just impossible. And you can never go back. Never, ever, ever. Anything you've ever let go of, and maybe it's a conversation for another time, anything you've ever let go of, you can't go back. It's gone, period. End of story. So you can recreate it, but you can't go back. So continue to move forward, move beyond, 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 beyond. That's the word of the year, beyond.
Yes, I love it.
Right. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's good.
Yeah, me too. So, all right, everybody, have an awesome time creating your day and keep going beyond and choose wisely.
Use wisely. Let's go.
Yes.